My parents don't know a whole lot about video games. When I was a kid, rather than just buying what, was popular or looked good, my parents would usually just buy what was cheapest. And I know I'm not alone in that. But that didn't always mean the games were bad. The N64 was the last console where they bought games without asking me, and I have a lot of fond memories of those games because of that. I don't remember those games being good, but I don't remember them being bad either. I wanted to know if they held up, so I decided to fire them up and find out.
But first, a word from our sponsor.
Despite the struggles I had as a kid with my skin, I never really felt like I had to do anything special to take care of it. Knowing what I know now, I don't think I could have been more wrong. Geology changed the way I feel about my skin and about myself. It's a simple, effective, personalized skincare routine. Just fill out this 60-second quiz to get your own personal derm-grade skincare routine. Your box comes with a set of directions, and each bottle is labeled so you'll never miss a step. My favorite has to be the eye cream. I'm a sleep-deprived video editor, and my eyes are no better for it. But the eye cream's been slowly bringing the color back to my skin, and I feel so much better about it. So use our code to get 70% off your own personalized skincare routine. That's only $12. You'll also get a free gift and an additional 50% off on add-ons. So sign up with our code today and start feeling better now. You won't regret it. Thanks to Geology for partnering with us on today's video. First up is Micro Machines 64 Turbo. This is a port of Micro Machines V3 on PlayStation, but this is the version I grew up with. You race tiny toy cars in everyday locations like the dinner table, a billiards table, a man-made pond, and other such things. Nathaniel Bandies everywhere love big house aesthetics, and you know what? So do I. It really captures the essence of being a kid and playing with your toy cars in whatever ways you found interesting. The top-down perspective takes a bit to get used to, but if you've played Top Ride and Kirby Air Ride, you know what you're getting into. Finally, I can drive on spoons, carrots, milk splatters, and any other disgusting liquids you might find around the house. The scope isn't massive or anything, but the whole concept here is something I'd love to see get revisited. Thankfully, John Christensen is working on tiny tires. Look at this! It's the same concept as Micro Machines, but with interactable objects and more flavor to the track design. Can't wait for this game to come out. But back to Micro Machines. It's just packed with style, even down to the menu. You drive a little car up to the garages that match the mode you want to play. The layout kind of reminds me of that little rug with the city on it that every kid in the world seemed to have. You know the one. The playable characters are a choice. You've got this Elvis impersonator, a lady that makes me uncomfortable, Budget Dilbert, this guy. They're expressive before and after races, but the real reason you choose them is to get the different colorways they offer for the Micro Machines. There's a variety of modes on offer, but this head-to-head mode is probably the most unique. You have to drive a certain distance ahead of your opponents to score a point, where you then reset and do it again. I like it in concept, but it really interrupts the flow of racing. Standard races are the way to go. Oh, and not only do you have cars, but you have tanks that can actually shoot projectiles, boats that skip along the water, and these other tanks that are really slow and awkward to control. But they're here! There's a lot of variety crammed into this game, and I really miss the idea of driving tiny cars in big worlds. But that begs the question, what if you drove big cars in tiny worlds? Macro Machines. It's like Katamari, but with wheels. So, Micro Machines didn't hold up as well as I remember, but what's here I think is still pretty cool. Next is Scooby-Doo Creepy Capers. Yeah, this game kinda sucks. The gang is dropped right into the Black Knight mystery, and it's up to Shaggy and Scooby to explore the museum to find clues and look for materials to help the gang trap the Black Knight. The music, the sound effects, and the vibe are all there. But this game just doesn't have much else going for it. It uses a classic Resident Evil style camera, which is fine, but I hate the way the controls don't change in relation to the camera changing. It confuses me, and you're often unable to see what's coming next, and it gets really frustrating. In the very first area of the museum, there's a security officer, and because of the camera, you can't see where he is, even though you know he's there, and Shaggy is clearly looking right at him. It's frustrating, but not frustrating enough to keep me from playing on. Unfortunately, the actual mystery solving and trap setting is really basic. You pick up clues you find lying around with very little context as to how they pertain to the actual mystery. And that's kind of the whole experience. Just walking around and picking up clues off the ground. There's some more Resident Evil style elements, such as finding a key in a different area of the museum, or discovering how the things you find interact with other things, but it's very surface level. And then you have Scooby-Doo himself. He follows Shaggy around, which would be cool if he didn't have collision. This dog is constantly getting in your way. You can't walk through him, you just have to pray that he'll move out of the way. I guess he's not that unlike real dogs. Clearly this is just for kids who want to play a cheap Scooby-Doo game. But even as a kid, I remember this game being kind of bad. And yeah, it is. Cruisin'. I love these games. Cruisin' Blast on Switch is my kind of stupid and silly. And I mean racing as a Triceratops with limited animations kind of silly. This silliness goes all the way back to the original games, and my favorite is definitely Cruisin' Exotica. Look, I can play as an alien! And he actually shows up in the car! This was a big deal for N64 driving games, okay? Anyway, the tracks are also a bit silly. There are more normal tracks like Korea and Las Vegas, but then you have tracks like Atlantis and Mars. In Atlantis, you're literally driving underwater. There are no water physics or anything, but there's something about seeing these very normal looking cars driving underwater and doing flips that just speaks to me. And not all the cars are normal, like this one. It has a giant solar panel on it. It looks ridiculous when it flips, and that's awesome. There are several silly car designs in Exotica, and that just makes the experience that much more memorable. The actual racing feels pretty good. And you have the ability to do wheelies. If you do a wheelie off a ramp or another car, you'll do a flip, which actually subtracts a second from your time. This encourages you to do tricks often. Not so much to gain speed, but to gain time. You can also do rolls if you do a wheelie on your sides. Does that have its own name? I have no idea. We'll just call it a side wheelie. A Sealy. Okay, apparently Sealies are Scottish folklore fairies. The modes on offer are serviceable, and the music's pretty enjoyable. It's a fun, classic arcade racer, and I hope it makes its way to NSO at some point. Next up is a game that was locked so far back into the depths of my memory, I wasn't even sure it was real. But I looked it up, and sure enough, Charlie Blast Territory is a real video game. Charlie is a demolition worker whose only purpose in life is to destroy every cubic island in the known universe. Your goal is to line up all the TNT with a detonator and then light the fuse and watch the ensuing destruction. Yeah, it's a puzzle game. It's all about pushing blocks, finding the right pass, and then blowing everything up. It's honestly pretty charming. I mean, look at Charlie. That's just a guy. He even has a plumber's butt crack. We all know a Charlie in real life. Me? I am a Charlie in real life. He also has hilariously visceral reactions to being stabbed in the butt. I think this game would be better if Charlie wasn't so slow. Moving him around feels pretty awful. I also often find myself accidentally pushing a TNT block I wanted to jump over instead. That can get pretty frustrating, as restarting levels is not as snappy as you'd hope. You have to watch the opening animation every time you want to restart. I ended up putting this game down pretty quickly because of that. I did think the core puzzle solving was fun enough, but not if I had to trudge through mud to do it. Oh, interesting. Apparently, this is another PlayStation 1 port, but this game got a name change when it came to N64. It was originally called The Bombing Islands and featured Kid Clown, a character from other Kemco games. The N64 version was received better, and it had multiplayer, but I don't think it's worth a replay. And last is probably my absolute favorite on this list. Space Invaders. This isn't your granddad's Space Invaders. This version has power-ups, boss fights, and music that does things to my body. I mean, listen to this. You think I recorded enough of this for the bit yet? This game exudes vibes. You start off on Pluto and make your way planet by planet until you get home to Earth. Each planet introduces a new type of alien which all have different traits. There's this one alien that will fly down to the ground to kill you after being shot. Another shoots projectiles at angles. The cool thing about these aliens is that if you shoot the same type 4 times in a row, you'll get a power-up unique to that alien. The kamikaze alien? It gives you that attack, but in reverse. Your tank literally jumps in the air, destroying every alien in its path. Your power-up attacks also count towards getting you additional power-ups. So some stages are designed with a quick-fire solution. If you're good at recognizing patterns quickly, you can shred through some of these stages really fast. Motherships will also drop power-ups such as Double Shot and Shield, which make you really powerful once you're fully stacked up. You'll face a boss at the end of each planet, and they're all unique. One has you trapped inside of a ring with 3 different parts you have to blow up as the ring spins from side to side. Another has a robot that hides behind shields similar to the ones found in the original Space Invaders. This is a fully realized version of the original concept behind Space Invaders. You're still shooting rows of enemies, but they're all unique, and you have access to way more abilities. You can even play the entire game in 2-player co-op. You can probably beat the game in just under an hour if you know what you're doing, but I still love going back for replays. Oh, and if you beat the game once, you unlock Expert Mode, and you unlock the original Space Invaders as a bonus. I love when games used to do that. I sincerely want this game on N64 NSO. Space Invaders has never been this cool. And that's all I've got. Those are the games I had as a kid that stood out to me the most. Not all of them were great, but some of them were really good. I'm curious what lesser known, maybe even bargain bin games you guys had as a kid. Most of these are weird and dated, but that doesn't make them any less cool. Let me know in the comments below, subscribe to GVG if you haven't, we're on our way to 200,000 subscribers. We're getting real close, so all of your support is really appreciated. If you want to get videos like this early, you can even join our Patreon. There are links to that in the description below. But thanks for watching, we'll see you next time. Keep the games good and the vibes greater. Bye now.